Okay, great. So we are here Friday, San Diego Comic-Con. I'm speaking with the co-directors of Cloudy with a Chance and Meatballs 2, coming out in September. Cody Cameron and Chris Pern. Gentlemen, thank you for speaking with me today.
Thank you.
I'm very excited. So Cody, you spent a great amount of time working on the Shrek franchise.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's it like? You're making your theatrical directorial debut with this film. What's it like to finally be here and
I think it's great.
Your
I
film
mean,
is about to
I've
come
been
out.
storyboarding since '96, and actually on this film we were still storyboarding, and probably will be storyboarding until we're dead. But I really like it a lot. I was able to direct a short and a direct-to-DVD before this, and I love doing this, and it's been a great time working on this film and working with Chris.
Chris, you're making your directorial debut, your feature directorial debut. What's this like for you in working with Cody, and how do you guys collaborate?
Well, I mean, the process was like drinking from a fire hose. I mean, like it was. So, and I think because we worked together on so many other movies in the story department, we kind of approached our collaboration in that way, that it was like a kind of like a relationship where we could just debate things and riff, and in story you're always talking about the what if and throwing spaghetti on the wall, and that's sort of I think how we integrated with each other, how we work with all of our leads, and in terms of like how we collaborate, we try to just be present as much as possible in every room, and at least be our own soundboard. And then we bring other people into that, so all of our leads and stuff.
And on this film, like for the most part, we were able to both be at like all of the meetings, and it was really only until like the last month or two where they had to kind of split us up and send one to one thing and send one to another.
Fire hose goes that way.
Yeah, but what's great is that we both, understand what the film is that we want to make, and sometimes there's a few little things that fall through the cracks where one of us liked one thing or missed something, but then we get to look at it, and it all kind of gets back together.
So we do the shirtless wrestling, right?
Yeah.
When did you work on 16, and like what was it like working on that show?
So 16, that was probably around 2004, 2005. It was I was here in LA, and I was just doing some helping out some friends on that show. So I was doing some storyboarding. It was a great show. I thought it was early as a Flash. So I was trying to learn that system where you had to be careful with the BGs and stuff. Not a lot of moving camera, but it was a really character-driven show, really funny, well written. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
And who is your favorite character on that show?
I'm gonna say Jude because that's the only one I can remember.
Okay. Jude was like the guy who worked at the stick-it shop. He sold the little finger foods.
There was a little guy that was like, he worked at the video store who was always wearing the Darth Vader helmet. He was funny. He was fun to draw. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have to go back. So you play in the show. You play Barry.
Yeah, and Dill Pickle.
And Dill Pickle. And who do you play, Chris?
Oh, I do some chimpanzees and some just random people around LiveCore.
And the marshmallows.
Marshmallows. I do a good lady.
Okay. So it looks like, if you could, can you give us a sample of Barry and Pickle?
Barry, just imagine they're also going to pitch this up digitally, but it's like, and the Pickle, okay.
Okay, and Chris, who is your chimpanzee?
What he says is, chimpanzee. That's about it. And he gets into a fight with Steve. So Steve goes, Steve, chimpanzee, Steve, chimpanzee, Steve, chimpanzee, shove. Steve.
Will Flint Lockwood figure out how to fix his spray-on permanent socks problem? So are they still there?
They're still there.
In fact, when he dies, when the world has ended, there will just be bones with those shoes still affixed to his bones.
They'll be like perfectly preserved little human feet.
Except without the flesh, you might be able to like shake out the bones out of those spray-on shoes.
So the first movie was in 3D. This one's in 3D as well, right?
Yeah, stereo. Yeah.
So I guess I'm just curious, when you do a CG animated picture, and it's done in 3D, is it still converted, or is it automatically filmed?
There's we have a virtual camera set up, and in the computer they have a second camera, so it's always present. So for the 2D, there's the main camera that the animators work with, but then there's that second camera that they can just turn on. So there's a digital artist, Vaughn, who is doing our stereo, And so they'll click on that second camera and go back through and check the 3D.
And it hasn't been the case for every Sony animated film. The early ones, I think we did do a conversion thing, but on this one, like Vaughn steps in just after our layout process, so he kind of works hand in hand with James Williams. And it's like there's a lot of communication going on between all of our camera.
Yeah, James Williams is our head of layout. Yeah.
So it sounds like this was essentially shot and animated in a 3D format.
Oh yes,
right?
yeah. I mean, even Cloudy 1, we did a little class on CG, 3D, what works well and what doesn't look good.
Choreography.
Yeah. So as we were composing stuff, I mean, there was definitely choices made even at that phase of the storytelling.
Okay.
So.
Oh, and just for safety, if I could have you run through some of the new characters that'll get introduced in this picture.
Sure. Do you want to start with Chester and Barb?
Sure. So one of the ideas was that we wanted Flint to meet one of his heroes, one of the great scientists that was on his wall of achievement. And so we brought this character named Chester V, who's the CEO of a company called LiveCore. He's sort of like a Richard Branson meets Steve Jobs meets Carl Sagan.
A little bit of Richard Attenborough.
Yeah. So he becomes a bit of a mentor and a guiding beacon of light for Flint in this movie. He's voiced by Will Forte, and he's got a number 2 named
Barb, who is his orangutan sidekick, and we've done a little revisionist history where at the beginning of our film we show young Flint, and it's where he gets the inspiration to build Steve's thought translator.
Yeah.
Great. Guys, I can't wait to see this movie later this year, September 27th.
Yeah.
All right, congrats.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate
Very nice
it.
to meet you.